One of the things that I'm really interested in is the increasing acceptance of archaeology of the very recent past. People willing to engage using material culture and the archival record to understand perhaps times that we ourselves have lived through, but bringing a different perspective by approaching that time period through the lens of archaeology. So I've been increasingly interested in how people are using archaeology to study the now.
An area that really gets me excited about where historical archaeology is going is the breadth that some people are starting to build between sites all around the world and the networks that really did connect them. Looking and excavating sites in Australia, but recognizing that they are populated by British people and that there's a cultural connection, not just a heritage connection, but a living cultural connection between people in England, people in Australia, people all around the world, and recognizing that these material lives and the material culture left behind really tells the story of globalization from a very intimate and a very personal level that I think a lot of people have a harder time understanding when they look at themselves and globalization. They seem like two very different experiences, and I think archaeology does a great job of making those connections a little more apparent, so people could look at their own objects and their own way they live their life and recognize that they're doing things that are connecting them directly with people all around the world, and have been doing so long before the internet made that seem more obvious.
You're mentioning the internet makes me think of another trend that I'm excited about within archaeology more broadly, and that's the ability to share data amongst researchers via online databases, but I've seen people experimenting in really interesting ways with social media, sharing excavations as they're ongoing, and engaging with publics after the excavation's over to engage them in a conversation about what the material means. The general public gets a chance to see more aspects of the archaeological process than just the excavation, which is, I think, prominent in most people's minds, but is probably only a fraction of what we do.
One of the ways that historical archaeologists can collaborate with other archaeologists who might be specialists in other time periods is through the need for similar kind of analytical techniques to be employed. So, for example, the faunal remains or the animal bones that we excavate, which are usually related to foodways, they need to be analyzed by a specialist, and that specialist will be a specialist in the study of animal bones, and it may be from 1,000 years or 10,000 years ago, or just a few, 10 or 100 years ago, because it's identifying by species, how they were processed, and what kind of information that tells us about the people who would have had this as part of the food they ate.
I would like to see more comparative research. I think we do a really good job of sharing the results of our individual projects that are based in specific excavation or laboratory activities. What I would like to see even more of is researchers taking data from a wide range of projects and integrating it, trying to come up with a broader systemic understanding of what's going on across broader spans of time or broader geographies, rather than having primarily a site-focused understanding of what's going on.